Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a short tutorial. It's just eyes, cheeks, and lips on this look here, and it's very similar to what I was wearing in my recent eating and exercising vlog. Several people said please do a tutorial on this, so I came as close as I could remember. I start off using one shade from the Sunset palette because initially for some reason I was thinking that's what I used in that video, and then all of a sudden I went, oh no, I used the Love palette. So you'll see me use one shade from there, but that's why. So, but overall I'm using kind of these brighter pink shades and a little bit of some plum, and then on the lid I'm using one of my all-time favorite pigments from MAC, and I'm going to give you some tips of how to use loose pigments. So hopefully that'll be helpful for you. Before we get into the tutorial, if you're new here, special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button. And now without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. For eyeshadow primer, I used the NARS Tinted Smudge Proof base in the shade Light. I'm going to go in just with my Peachy Mattes palette and just use a combination of these two on my E50 and just give myself a little bit of highlight, kind of help set the top part of the crease there. Okay, so now we're going to go into this beautiful palette. I'm going to hold it upside down so I don't blind you with the mirror. I'm going to go in with my M504 from Morphe, and first go in with the shade called Morgan right here, this light peachy shade. And I'm going to just put this through the crease, blended into that brow bone highlight color. Okay, now switching to the Love palette. Now I'm going to go in with the shade called Intense right here. And this is intense, as the name implies. You do not need much of this at all. And just continue to build that up slowly. I'm using the Morphe M433, and I like this because it gives you a little bit of preciseness because the brush is kind of smushed, but it also has the ability to blend out the shadow. So you can keep it from getting too wild and crazy, but you can also kind of blend the edges softly after you place the shadow. I'm just going to go back to the M504, just softly blend the edge of that. Now in the outer corner, we're going to build up some intensity there. So I'm going to go in with this shade, and it's called Soul. And I'm using this small brush. This is the E47, I believe, E27, sorry, from Sigma. And I'm just going to use this to kind of tap the color in. And then we'll bring this up slightly towards the outer part of the crease there. And this is another one of those brushes that it's more precise than the M433, but it still has a little bit of some softness, so you can kind of gently blend very lightly the edge. Okay, then I'm going to go back to the M433 with no extra shadow and just try and blend the top edge of that deeper shade. Okay, so we're going to just darken this outer part before we go in with our lid shade. Because we're using a loose pigment today, I want to do as much blending before I put the pigment down. So I'm now going to go in and I'm going to use just a little bit of combination of these two. So we'll start off with this one, which is Trust, and I'm going to use the E57 from Sigma. It's just a smaller, flat, stiff brush, and I am just going to kind of press this into the lash line. And I don't want this outer corner to be too dark. I want to kind of keep some brightness there, but I do want a little more definition here. And this will also help once I put the liquid liner down. It's going to help the liquid liner not seem too harsh because we'll have a little bit of a darker color smudged here. So I'm just continuing with that shade Trust. And then let's see, we'll add just a tiny little bit of this Commitment shade. Commitment has a little bit of some sparkle in there, but I think it doesn't transfer onto the eyes quite as much if you use it in small quantities like this. So, and then go back to the purple Trust, kind of go back and forth till you like the blend. And then I'm going to go back one more time with our E27 and more of this shade called Soul, and just blend on top of that shade. Make sure it's all seamless there. Then you can take your M433 if you want, just with a little bit or no extra shadow. Just take that through the crease. All right, and now we get to go in with the fun part. I'm so excited. All right, so today I'm using one of my all-time favorite pigments, and that is Rose by MAC. And they now sell these in smaller containers. So this is the full size, but they sell them in a container that's about half this size. And trust me, you will still never go through that much pigment. So I have had this for a long time, and you can see I've hardly even made a dent in it. So I am going to use a pigment glue. You can use a glitter glue. If you don't have a glitter glue, you can also use lash glue, or just use a setting spray. The MAC pigments do have a binder ingredient in them, so they do actually, once you press them on, they do stay better than a lot of other pigments do. But a glitter glue is the way that I know that this is not going to go anywhere. So I just put a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and we're going to work one eye at a time. So I'm going to just tap this on the inner half of my lid here, and wherever you put this glue, your pigment is really going to adhere and stick to. So you don't want to go all the way to the outer edge, or you'll have pigment all the way out there, unless you want the pigment there. All right, then I'm going to pick up a little bit of pigment on my brush, and this is the MAC 239, okay? And then on the inside of the lid, I have the cap, and I'm going to now press that brush into the cap, and then really tap off the excess, and press it again, tap it off, and then press it onto the eye. And what this is doing is it's preventing a ton of fallout once you put it on your eyes. And then what you want to do is just press, and almost like you're dragging across, and what this is doing is it's helping those pigments to bind together and create an even more metallic finish. Oh, so pretty. And this pigment, as the light catches it, it has pink, gold, a little bit of even some kind of, I would say almost tangerine reflex, but it's the gold and the rose in there. Oh, my favorite. And then just a tip I've learned the hard way, make sure you wipe your glue off your back of your hand right away before it sets, because it's really hard to get off. All right, so let that completely dry on your lids, and then you can go back with your crease brush. This is the M433, and I don't have any extra product, but I'm just very lightly going right on the edge. You just want to make sure that there is not a real harsh line, unless you want more of a cut crease look. That's just not my favorite look on myself, but it is really pretty. All right, so now we're going to address the lower lash line. I'm going to go in with Urban Decay Love Drug. This is a really pretty kind of mid-tone warmer purple shade, and it just looks amazing if you've got green eyes in particular. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with the shade right here called Heartbeat. It's a little bit deeper than Soul, and I'm going to use this on the M432. Just press this right into the lower lash line. And then just kind of connect it here with the outer corner. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that shade Heartbeat on the E27 and just tap this in the outer corner. Yep, that's exactly what this needed. And then go back with the M433 and just blend the top edge of that. And then I'm taking just a teeny little bit of Intense, which is the shade right here. The first one that we went in with this brush, and just put that around the edge. There we go. Okay, one more time with your M504. Kind of make sure everything's softly blended. All right, and then on the lower lash line, I am going to add just a tiny little bit of Intense as well. I'm going to put this right on the front part and kind of below where that liner stops. I'm taking a little bit lower, and then I can always clean up any extra. So if you take it down a little too far, you can clean up underneath. Okay, so we are going to add another color on the inner corner, but not until after concealer. So last step here before mascara is liner, liquid liner. I'm using the Hank & Henry Blickety Black liquid liner, and liquid liner is the easiest if you are going over the top of a glittery shadow or a pigment like we use today, because it won't skip and drag. So after adding mascara, bronzer, what I want to do is finish up the inner corner of the eyes and then do the lips and do the cheeks last, because I'm going to do a little bit brighter lip color, and so I like to do blush after that, just so I make sure I don't add too much blush. So for highlighter today, I think I'm going to use this new one from Ofra. This is the Samantha March collaboration, and it is called Start Inspired. So I guess start your day inspired. I don't know, but it's a combination of gold and pink. It's so amazing, just like all of their highlighters are. I'm going to take my fan brush, and I'm going to go more into kind of the gold side. But Ofra highlighters, I mean, they are really intense, but such a beautiful formula. So we're going to put highlighter on first, and then we're going to actually use this to highlight the inner corners of the eyes as well. So I'm going to go into just this gold part here, and I'm going to tap this on the inner corner, and then I'm going to bring this over where that rose pigment shade begins. And then I'll take my Sigma E30 and just blend that upward and add a little more, just so there's a nice gradient there. And I went around the edge of my lips with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And now for my lip liner. The combination I used in that video is the Charlotte Tilbury Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk 2 medium. So she recently came out with 3 shades of Pillow Talk. There's the original, medium, and deep, and this is the medium shade. For my lip color, I combined 2. So if you saw my What's in My New handbag, you know I redid kind of my lip collection, and I went in there and pulled out 2 colors that I told you I wanted to dig into this spring. This one is the Bobbi Brown Liquid, I always forget what this is called, Luxe Liquid Lip Rich Metal in Frisé. It's a mouthful. And this is such a pretty color and formula. So that color's really pretty on its own, but it was a little more pink leaning than I wanted. So I went over the top of it with the Bare Minerals Moxie Gloss in Warm Hearted. And this just added that little bit of kind of warmth and a little gold shimmer that I was looking for. And then for my blush shade, I think this is the one I used. We'll see. This is the Cover FX, what are these called? Monochromatic Blush Duo. It's a matte and shimmer shade. Ulta had these in their 21 Days of Beauty sale. So this is the shade Warm Hearted. I'm gonna go in with the matte side on a Morphe E4. These are really pigmented, so a very little goes a long way. I'll take a little bit of that up here on the forehead. This is such a neutral shade that you can kind of use this to warm up other parts of the face as well. And here's our finished look. So you know me, I love these kind of brighter pink shimmery colors on the eyes, but this especially, using my favorite pigment and then just the tones in this Natasha Denona Love palette just really bring out the color of my eyes and make me feel also a little more like it's almost summer. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it maybe gave you some new ideas and also some helpful tips of how to use a loose pigment. Thank you as always so much for watching. Be sure you're subscribed and I'll see you next time. Bye.